All right, thank you guys for hopping on to Setup Sunday. It is March 3rd, the beginning of the month. One thing I was talking to Monica about, she is not here because she has another event, but she's at a wedding event and she said, please remind them, everybody, let them know it is wedding season. Wedding season. Hotels are opening up all of their rooms and stuff to talk to people about weddings. So share those bridal testimonials as your before and afters. This is a perfect time to do that. So you've got bathing suit season and wedding season, all these things coming up. So the first thing that we do on Sunday, on Setup Sundays, we're going to map out your week. And the first thing we're going to talk about is your health goals. You guys we are number one for everything. We have to totally remember that our health is number one. So if you guys aren't still focusing on your health goals, please make sure you are. Please let your coach know what your goals are so that we can help support you on those. So that is, you guys are number one. Don't forget, if we're in fat burn, our business is in fat burn. If we're not in fat burn and we're not showing up, people think we quit. We don't feel authentic. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in fat burn, but you should be always working on your health. You should be sharing recipes. You should be sharing health tips. You should be sharing testimonies. You should be sharing struggles, because we all have struggles, and how you overcame struggles. Like, I was struggling with this, so here is 5 tips to help you. This helped me, that kind of thing. The second thing is business goals. So if you are planning to try to go to Grow Global, or you're trying to reach ED or any of that, please let your business mentors know what your goals are and what your action steps are, and then how you need our help. And if you are like finding yourself like stuck somewhere, we're not mind readers. We get stuck too. You got to let us know. If you're like, well, they keep saying to do this and I don't understand how to do that, then you have to let us know. You got to hop in your chat. You got to pick up the phone. You got to let us know so we can kind of break that down for you. We might be confused too. We can figure it out together, whatever. Or it might be some sort of concept that maybe you're looking at something in a completely different way, and we just need to help you kind of hone it back in. So let us know what those are. Client support. So on my Setup Sundays, I always send out, my client support day is Monday. I'm on workers' comp right now, so my schedule's a little bit more open, so I can actually probably do a couple more days because I'm home. But normally I have like a 4 or 5 hour window, and I send my texts out on Sunday with, I use a jot form. The reason I use a jot form is just like, hey, this is just to help catch me up where we're at. And it's just kind of to touch base, finding out like where the starting weight is, where the current weight is, who's noticing, if they're having any struggles, do they have anything coming up this weekend that we need to strategize about, who's noticed. I mean, just a breakdown to kind of find out. And I tell them, this is because I want to respect your time and keep it at like 5 to 7 minutes. And if you fill this out, we can pop through it really fast. Okay, I'm finding out where they are in their elements. But I always send that out on Sunday, so it gives them a chance to kind of plan it for Monday. Okay. So figure out that. Then social media, make sure that you guys, the hub, if you guys are using the hub, are you using the hub? It's awesome, right? Yeah, hub is a good thing. Hub is like, if you don't know what to do, you're not opening up the hub. That's all. Just open the hub. And then, just have your baseline things of what your minimals that you're willing to do every day. So I encourage you to go on the harder hubs, the second or the third. But if you're super busy, then that day you might just go to the beginner one. So there's like, just a couple things to do, but at least touch your business daily, because that's the momentum. Even if it's slow momentum, because you're just a little bit touching, it's still momentum. It's like, it's so easy to like take your hands off the car that you're pushing, and then the car comes to a stop, and then the light turns green, you need gas, you got to push it across the street to get to the gas station. But if you knew that that light was getting ready to turn yellow and you just kind of slowed down and approached getting up there, because you know you had to go across the street, and then you hit it right as the light turned green, you're still in momentum and you can go and push it. That's just an example. So conversation starters, how many? Again, that's all in the hub. There's great conversation starters in there. Great conversation starters. And listen, you guys, just be human. Say the conversation starters should be something like, if you saw them in the grocery store, you're like, hey, how's it going? Like, doesn't have to be anything. You're just asking what's going on in their world. Power hours. So Patty Glick's room, I don't know if you guys, they started at the very beginning. I think it's even in the launch boot camp. They have a power hour every morning at 8 a.m. The ladies in this power hour group have been doing this for, I think this is like their, I don't know, something like 550th power hour. This is done with consistency. There's usually about 250 people on these calls every day. They're 8 a.m. PST. So that would be, 10 a.m. for you, Dana? Are you CST? Central? Are you Eastern?
Hold on.
You're on.
I'm Central Standard Time.
Okay, so it would be 10 a.m. for you, but they're great because they talk about A to Z commenting. They do different things every day, but they're very structured. And one of the things I really like is they'll say something like, hey, you know what, you might have a really great idea, but please don't pop it into the chat. Like, we have tried and true stuff. If you have something that you want to try, bring it up to your mentors. So what that does is it's really easy to, and they advise you not to send anybody who's not a senior coach to there. But it does give them the same basic steps that are done every single time, and helps them to get their conversations going, and helps the A to Z commenting is going to the profile picture. Turning your Facebook, if you go to friends on your phone, it should go alphabetical. Although I can't do that. So I think it's because they put me as a digital creator. I can't get it A to Z anymore. So what I do is I start from oldest friends. So I'm going backwards to do that. What'd you say, Dana?
That doesn't work for me. Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't work for you either?
No, and I wanted to be on the power hour where Sabrina showed how to, because I can't even figure out how to find out who I friended recently. I don't see any of that when I look on my phone or on my my Facebook page. So
take the virtual off here so I can show you. Where is it? I think it's over here. Settings. I'll show you how to do it. View, edit. I don't know how to take the virtual off mine. So I'll try and show it here. Okay, so here is this. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to hit your picture right here. Okay, I just went to hold on, save draft. So if you click your picture, it's going to come here. Okay, so I do it, since mine says digital creator, it doesn't allow me to. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to click on it where it says, sorry.
It's blurry. Yeah, it's blurry. I'm
going to click that, and mine doesn't come up. Mine does not come up as A to Z. Okay, it does.
Mine is all over.
So another way to do it is if you're over here on the three dots on the side, it pulls up here, you can hit friends. Okay, then you're going to hit your friends. Okay, and then see where it says sort. So if I hit sort, I've got, okay, hold on, I'll get it to you. Sorry, it says default, newest friends, and oldest friends. So for me, I start on oldest friends.
Okay.
So I start on oldest friends because mine doesn't alphabetize, and I can go back through and it's easier for me, because the newest friends, it just keeps kind of changing at the beginning. But if I do oldest friends, and if you want to see the newest friends, you can start with that too. So that's a way that you can do it. Because again, I understand, I don't know if you're a digital creator, and I don't know, it used to do A to Z, but it doesn't for me anymore and I can't figure it out. So this is my
Got it.
workaround, is I do oldest friends first. So I figured those are my friends that I started at the beginning with anyway, so kind of cool to do it that way. So that's a way to
Perfect.
do that. So if you get on that power hour, just do whatever works for you. And if you're doing your oldest, I can end on who I ended, and it's still going to be the old, it's not going to change order.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm doing it that way.
Yeah,
when
that
you
makes
do-
sense.
And when you go on their profile picture, it's usually their favorite picture because it's their profile. So when you like it, do you know what A to Z commenting is, Dana? Okay, so what you do is you go to their profile and your marker is a like or a love. Okay, so it's either going to have a blue or it's going to have the heart, whatever your signature thing is. That's going to be your place card, right? And then you'll say something nice about their picture, and then you'll hit the top, and it will, like the top arrow, and it will take you right back to the list, and you go to the next one, and then you go to the next one, and you go to the next one. And if you've already liked their picture, then you can go to, and they're in your order, then you would go to their cover photo and do that one. And what that's going to do is, it's not anything to do with an algorithm. You're not trying to fight the algorithm, but usually if you start liking on somebody's picture, they're going to come over and see who you are. Okay, so that is going to get more eyes on your page. So the key is to go A to Z, or oldest to newest, whatever it takes for you, and hit everybody. And you're going to find those people in there that have passed away. And I mean, unless there's somebody who you want to stay on their page for whatever reason, because we all have those, you can create a new space for a new person. If you look at their page and the last 3 years, people have wished them happy birthday and they've never commented, they've never liked, they've never participated, you might want to consider unfriending them. They're probably not on Facebook. I wouldn't really start unfriending anybody until you get to about 4,000 friends, because you still want to just kind of build up, and then you can start taking down. So just kind of keep it in. When you go back through A to Z, you'll see them again. If you look on their page and they are completely opposite from you and they get on your nerves, kind of, then there's no reason to be friends with them, really. Or there's no reason to engage with them. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I always say, if you wouldn't want to share a convention bed with them, then they're probably not your people. So you know what I mean? Because if they end up being your coach and they're female, and you're not going to buy a room and then buy a room, you're going to end up sharing a room with them. And if you would rather put forks in your eyes than share a room with them, then probably don't want to. That's just my opinion. You guys do what you want with it. That's just based on experience. Okay. So those are conversation starters. We don't want to start a whole bunch of conversations from the A to Z. We want to stay on the more on the Facebook. We want to have conversations. I mean, we do want to start conversations, but we don't need to start conversations with the A to Z unless, I mean, you see them, write them down and put them on your list. Conversation should be intentional with people that you want to get to know. Because if you're copy pasting, you're going to get into Facebook jail. We don't want to copy paste. So I find a really good way is, like, if you have a copy paste thing that you're using a bunch, then hold it out here and voice text it, or use Siri to print, to say it for you. You're not going to, I haven't been thrown in Facebook jail from using Siri, because it's more authentic, more than a copy paste, even if it says the same thing, but I'm saying it. So that's just at least that's what I found. And I don't have anything to hold it up against. I just haven't been thrown in Facebook jail for it. Team trainings. So the power hours, make sure you find a power hour, whatever one works for you. Team trainings, we have the community call, then the field leadership, and then either Impact Academy or there's the Fraser, whichever one that you're on, that's all on there. I personally, because the text messages that we used to have them sign up for, that used to give them the Zoom link that does not no longer sends that, I will send my clients a reminder an hour before with the Zoom text, because really I'd like them to get on the Zoom rather than the Facebook, because I'm like, hey, you know what, if you're ever curious about like what it looks like to health coach, just stay on. Just stay on. But if they're on the community call, it cuts them off. And they're not going to advance to the next one. So that's just my pro tip. If they're not getting on at all, you can always tag them in your client group, because I share it both in Healthy Habits and Discovering Health. So, and I think sometimes Jamil does too, but I usually do. So they might be in there twice. He hasn't told me to stop yet. So I know he appreciates some of the stuff I do. Okay. And then how can we help you? Please get into your mentorship thread if you need something we don't know. So make sure you do that. And then also in your calendar, what time are you allocating your business building activities? They need to be in your calendar. So for me, like I'm using this being on workers' comp as a practice run for retirement while I still have my job, which is kind of cool. So I know my business building activities are best in the morning. So I'm going to be structuring that more than they could usually have been more in the afternoon because I've been at work. Check this should be also, it's almost, well, no, we're a weekend. Have you turned in your maps? Have you been following your maps? Don't forget, to use these, have all your stuff on there, check on, make sure that your orders are going through. It's a great way for you to remember who your clients are. Guys, we all forget who sometimes our clients are. We're like, oh my God, I forgot all about that person because we didn't write them down on the map. So for us, Dana, I know we're trying to really get into the rhythm of using those three-way chats, okay, with your new clients. Monica and I are actually going to do a video on it tomorrow, just to give that extra layer of support and make sure that we're dripping coaching in there. So that's a really good thing. Dawn, you can do that with your husband, kind of like, because you're both in there, just kind of dripping coaching is a really good thing. So you can check out the video. Huh? Yeah. I know she meant to hit herself off mute. So that's kind of everything on there. Are you there? Did you want to say something?
No, I was going to say we do that. My husband has two phones. One, the iPhone is my preference. He has an Android and an iPhone. So I tag him on all of the chats with our clients through the iPhone. It's just getting him to check it because the iPhone isn't his favorite. He's a weirdo. But we do that, and it is helpful to have additional support. I was going to ask you if there was something special about your three-way, like what that was, but that makes sense.
Yeah. So here's one thing that I was talking to Monica about. So sometimes we forget which three ways there are, which ones we're in. So we're going to try to make sure that when we title them, we put the party horn at the front, and then like party horn, Dana Stewart's client chat. So that way, if you have a party horn in front of everything, then you can search party horn and you'll pull up all your chats. And then with my coaches, I put the announcement horn, like the cheer horn that goes at the front. And that way, if I need to check on those chats, I can pull those up really quick. So that's a good, it's a marker, kind of like on the A to Z with liking or the heart, it's a marker. So create what you can. And if you do that with your client support threads, then when they become coaches, they'll understand the importance of doing that. So, all right. So make sure that your newsletters are also tomorrow. Did we not have a newsletter last week? Did you guys? Because I went in searching and I couldn't. It wasn't in there, and I don't know if they ever put one out. Dana, did you see one? You're muted.
I forgot to send mine last week, so that I can't answer if there was one or not. So
did you send one out, Dawn? You did not. Okay. All right. So I kept looking in there.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you normally send it out?
I have to get better on that. I when I was meeting with you guys regularly, I was a lot better with sending something out. And since I've kind of left the nest. I don't do it as often as I should, but definitely like for my follow-up folks, I was just thinking about like how I have to get back into doing that.
Okay, so put it in your, when you get off the phone here, off this call, put it in your calendar, about 10 o'clock or something to send out that newsletter. I send
Yeah.
it out, and then I also, when I send out that hour before community call, I'll grab the link of the newsletter, which I didn't have last week, and I put that in that chat too. And then I also put in the Zoom link, because some people don't check their email. And I'm guilty. I'm seriously
Right.
of an email. I have the red, like thousands, probably 20,000. I have a lot. 10,692 unread emails.
Oh, you're doing good. I'm way worse.
Oh, this has already been deleted. Oh, I'm sorry. My other one is 31,000.
Yeah, you're still doing better than me. But okay, anyway.
Right. So if we send it out email, and then we also send it, and then I was listening to somebody also saying that they were actually checking back in, like with their people, like anybody who they saw, hey, I saw you looked at that email. Tell me, I'd love to hear some feedback. So, hey, did you get that email? Here's this. And then Becky Flamong, she actually takes like a picture of the recipe, and she puts that out on Monday, and she says, oh my God, another great recipe in my newsletter. Are you getting it? Who else wants to be on my newsletter? And I was like, I need to do that. But I couldn't do it last week because there was no, every time I checked, the newsletter wasn't out. So tomorrow, I'll try it again tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have it out this time. I don't know. I don't know if they put it out Tuesday or something, or like late Monday night. I just, every time I checked, I didn't see it. So that's about all I have. Do you guys have any questions about anything or feedback?
I did on that three-way thread. So like Dawn's usually in there. Who else should I be putting in for new clients?
Just Dawn. Just make sure that put that party horn up front, and if for some reason she's missing it, because sometimes, just make sure that you have, like, when you put a message in there, you have to hit that @ sign and highlight the name. You have to highlight Dawn, or you have to highlight your client, or whoever, or both, because if we're not getting notifications, it's like, we'll see it that there's something, but there's no notification, and then notifications get lost and we forget all about it. But just highlighting the name, and then if we miss something, or she misses something, hey, I asked you this question, because she did that to me last week. Hey, so-and-so answered your question. You need to pop back in there. I was like, oh, so sorry. I didn't even realize, because I was doing something else. So, sometimes we don't see the notification. So just let us know, but do the things that you can, the party horn, and then highlighting. And especially when you first start a group chat, nobody's name tags the first time. So I always will put like a GIF in there, like the guy, what's his name? Tom Hanks going like this, hey, that's like my first one, because then it populates the chat, and then I can tag people. So just make it kind of cute, whatever, your personality is. You can put a little Winnie the Pooh, whatever. You can do whatever you want.
And you guys are doing this through Facebook Messenger?
Yeah. Because it's in order to like the client that I have, especially because I have a brand new coach, her name's Judy. And so Doris would send, hey, make sure that you send a picture of your meal. And I've been doing this long enough where I knew when I looked at Doris's meal, it wasn't right. And Judy commented, good job, because she's a brand new coach. And I said, oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Doris. Like, did you measure your lean and green? And she said, yes, I did. And I said, awesome. Did you use cups or a scale? And she said, cups. And I said, awesome, cool. Let me tell you why we want to use the scale. Because she had used iceberg lettuce. And I said, iceberg lettuce is 74 or 72 grams for a serving. Okay. If you had 3 cups of iceberg lettuce, you would have a family-sized bowl of salad, like huge. And then you would have your chicken with that. And I said, so I could tell, and because we just take the cups and we put it in, but it's not the same. I said, so iceberg lettuce is 72, whereas romaine is like 64, and tomatoes are like 90. So everything has a different measurement. And so what I did for Judy, because Judy's also a personal trainer, so she has a personal training group, I said, anything that you have to tell somebody more than twice needs a video. So I said, and she's not good with videos. And I said, can I give you an assignment? And she said, yes, you can. I said, awesome. I want you to do a video showing the difference of iceberg lettuce in a cup and on the scale. So she did. So she put a cup of iceberg lettuce in a cup, and then she dumped it on a plate, and then she took a coffee filter and she started filling it to the 72 grams, and it was like falling out all over the place. And then she put it on another plate and she held them up. This is a cup and a cup. This is a cup, a true cup of iceberg lettuce. And so that's pinned at the top of our group in Discovering Health, because I'm like, cool. So what did I do? I gave her a tool. I showed her how to do something that she was uncomfortable. So I pushed her, but I brought also value to both the client and the coach. Okay. So this is just about going in and kind of, and this girl in the coaching thread or in the client thread feels crazy supported. And so when we brought up, hey, can you post on your, 11 days in and whatever it was, 6 pounds down, and then tag Judy, can you do that? And she said, absolutely. And I said, oh my gosh, you're going to really like inspire your friends. I can't even wait to see who you're going to help. So it's just a matter of doing that. So she probably will become a coach because this is just all she knows of the program. And she's never experienced anything like this before. So we're looking to give them a first-class experience, but also empower them at the same time. So that's kind of why we're trying to encourage more 3-way chats, so that we can create a culture that's going to really be supportive all the way around. Like we're all going to encompass everything. So does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. So like I said, we'll do a video tomorrow and you'll see what that looks like. So, oh, and again, don't forget wedding. Look for those wedding before and afters. If you guys see any, put them in the Facebook, Instagram chat. We'll just start throwing a whole bunch of wedding ones in there. Bride and groom.
I've also been talking about the fact that I think like now it's like 108 days until summer. And so talking about that, like we've got time, so like let's get on it. And that's been getting some traction. Yeah, the last week I've been asking Siri, well, after you do it once or twice, you kind of know, okay, yesterday was 110, today is 109. But over the last 2 weeks, whenever I forget, I just ask Siri how many days until summer, and a number will pop up. And that's been a really good one as well.
Oh, cool. Well, I did do a couple of 15-week story things that are blank. So I'm going to go drop those in the group right now, and you guys can use those for the next week. And then I'll go back into my thing and you got to just lay a picture. I would highly suggest that you always on the, as much as you can, throw one of your pictures in your stories when you do the sequences. They should always see you in there. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks you guys for
Thank
helping.
you so much.
All right. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.
Nice to meet you, Dawn.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice to meet you too, Dana. Bye-bye.
Bye.